How's it going today, everyone? This is Sage, and we have a lot of new archetypal support coming to Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm so hyped. We've gotten Speedroids, which we covered in the last Market Watch. If you guys haven't watched that, go back and check that out. Some of the buyouts were nasty insane. And since then, we've gotten support for Crystons, which we'll go over today, and also for Jurracs. So we've gotten the support for the Terminal World 2, and Jurracs. I've been waiting for Jurrac support just because it's one of my favorite thematics. And I was kind of expecting it to be in the Fire Duelist pack, but we ended up getting Volcanics, Salamangreat, and Battling Boxers instead. So to finally have some Jurrac support makes me so stoked. Now I can drop the in-archetype nib, the big Jurrac Meteor DT. I actually ended up getting that for a hell of a steal here a couple months ago, I think. And I got that steal over on Whatnot. If you guys don't use Whatnot, you guys can buy anything from this site. This site has everything from currency to trading cards to Funko Pops to clothing and shoes, and it's just a really awesome site. I stream over here every so often. I just got back into it after the move. I plan on doing another show here on Friday, September 13th. So if you guys are watching this video, click the link in the description and follow my Whatnot. And if you guys are not on the platform already, and you guys click that link in my description, you guys can get a $15 credit to use anywhere on the site. And that $15 credit is going to apply to the purchase itself. You will still have to cover taxes and the shipping costs. So $15 for free just for clicking the link and becoming a new user to the platform. I cannot recommend Whatnot enough. I get so many cool things like Card of Sanctity ulti. This is a Japanese ulti. We never got this. Just lots of cool stuff over on the platform. I highly recommend coming over and checking it out. I cannot stress how awesome of a platform this is. To get into the cards, Crystons. I want to start here, because this was the support that was announced a couple days ago now. We've seen a lot of these listings disappear. Mostly it's the synchros, because a lot of these only have one print. Citri is 10 listings. That's insane. It's an ultra. Hulk, of course, Hulk had to spike. People are coping very, very hard if they think Hulk is coming back, but yeah, there is zero way in hell that this card ever comes back without a very, very extreme errata. It's just not possible. Otherwise, everything else over here is kind of healthy on listings, so you don't have to worry too much about these. But if you guys do need the synchros, just recommend finding them in like a bulk bin or trade binder or something, because they weren't expensive, and even now they still aren't too expensive. So if you guys are planning on playing the pure Crystron deck, you're going to need a bunch of these. Speedroids. Cork Shooter has settled down. We saw this get as high as, I think, $40 when the support was announced. Super Terratops are still up, not quite as high. I guess people finally realized that this is getting a quarter century rare in, well, now less than a week. So people are kind of holding back on that. Kambara, this is a secret that I was looking at quite a while ago. Just on the off chance that Speedroids got support, or something needed like a Synchro 5. It's kind of a weird one, but this is really low on listings. And the Domino Butterfly is also still pretty low on listings, sitting at 12 listings, but this has also settled down. I think this was around the $8 to $10 mark. Otherwise, everything else here is kind of healthy. Like Rubber Band Shooter is still, 100 listings. So we're sitting pretty healthy over here. Now the Jurrac support. If you guys haven't seen this, I will leave this link to YG Organization in the description. I'm really hyped about this. This support is intended to give Jurrac an identity closer to like the generic Dino deck. It's supposed to make them mesh better, because Jurrac was, I think, a battle phase focused deck. It was kind of like a Tempai, but like extremely, extremely, extremely worse. When did this come out? Like 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. So, use that to your own advantage. But I'll let you guys read these if you guys want to pause the video. These are really cool, actually. And the field spell is insane. I do want to read that one here while we're scrolling down. Now, the field spell, this is Jurrac Volcano. Just, first of all, insane art. I love this. Now, you can only use the first, second, and third effect of the card's name each once per turn. During your main phase, destroy one dinosaur monster you control, and if you do, special summon one Jurrac monster from deck. Okay, that's like pretty solid, right? You have baby on field, you can pop the baby, and then you can get something else, and then baby effect. Really, really solid. If your opponent special summons a monster during the turn they activated monster effects 4 or more times, you can special summon one Jurrac Meteor from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. Okay, that is very important, because if we look at Jurrac Meteor, I will read this out for you. When this card is synchro summoned, destroy all cards on the field. This is a mandatory effect. Yes, it says when. You can, with when, you could typically miss timings. But this is mandatory, so everything's gone. Destroy all cards on the field, then special summon one tuner monster from grave. But this is where that third effect of the field spell comes in. If a Jurrac monster you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish one dinosaur monster from graveyard instead. So not only do you get to protect your board from your own meteor, you get to summon the meteor, it's classified as a synchro summon, and your opponent's board just gets wiped. It's actually kind of cool. I'm really hyped. I think we should still be getting a few more cards for the support. But yeah, if meteors have gone insane, guys, just because of this support. And we'll take a peek at that here. This DT meteor that I was just talking about. Yeah, let's click on this. This was like a, $6 card. Actually, let's filter by condition. It was a $2 card with no sales for the longest time, and now the lowest is $70 near mint. This got bought out overnight to 0 listings. Let that sink in for a little bit. This got bought out to 0 listings overnight. You can see we had a ton of sales. Even in the light play department, we had a few sales. There were a few of them up. Just I can't even comprehend this. This card is now $60+. Now the secret was bulk. The secret was, cents. Forever and ever and ever. The secret's like $20 now. On Lim and First Ed. First Ed near mint is going to run you about $27. If you guys have these, please list them. This is likely going to be reprinted in the same set that we get the Jurrac support, because in the OCG it is getting the reprint. This and another very impactful card for the deck. So offload these while you have a chance. I'm going to keep my DT just because this will remain higher rarity, higher scarcity. Luckily I had some sleeves there to block that fall, but yeah, sell the secrets if you have them. And then everything else we have here, Gwaiba's, pretty well known. The rest of these, what was the other one? Velo is pretty good. Alo is like your tuner, I think, your level 1 tuner before the new one. And now, let's see if we can find it. Everything else is like kind of healthy on listing. Some of these synchros are getting a little bit low. Otherwise, yeah, everything else is pretty decent. I want to go look at the trap, because there is a new card that lets you set Speller Trap, Jurrac Speller Trap from deck, and this is going to be your big one, Impact. So let's go ahead and click on here. If you control a face-up dinosaur-type monster with 2,500 or more attack, again, destroy all cards on field. This is a trap version of Meteor. You just have to have a dino with 2,500 or more attack, which is so simple. And again, if you have field spell up, you banish one from grave, your Jurracs don't get destroyed. So, kind of cool. This is Astral Pack common. There are like quite a few copies of this. Somebody bought 69. Let's actually click into that. So we had 17, 27, 20, and a playset 2 here. So not too many of these have moved overnight. However, near mints are down to 19 listings, but there are several sellers here with walls available. So you can still get these readily available at like the quarter mark. So if you guys need a set, it's going to cost you like $3 after shipping and taxes. So not the end of the world. This also does have another common out of Cosmo Blazer, which is on this third page, because it's Cosmo Blazer. It's a core set. These are very, very readily available. And yeah, these ones weren't moving at all. People are really... So we're speculating this is going to be the next Battles of Legends set when we get these support cards, which means like Jurrac Impact would get a Ultra, and Meteor would probably get another, like a base secret. I can't see him doing like another Ultra or anything. But yeah, that's kind of what you have to look out for. Keep in mind Jurrac Impact and Jurrac Meteor to make the most of things. And now, this is the article that we got almost 2 months ago. I had to look at the date. With this was the confirmation that Meteor was getting, Jurrac was getting support, and that Meteor would, likely be a big part of that. But they also mentioned Fabled. So, since we already got the Jurrac support, we're likely going to get Fabled support later tonight. That would be the night of September 12th, if you guys are watching this, later on in the future. So keep an eye on Fabled cards. The ones that you really want to keep an eye on are like Ragin. Ignore Lurie. Lurie's just up for Fiendsmith. Catsith, DTs, Cerberals, Unicorn is like insane. Raven is like one of your best Fableds. Valkyris is pretty good. Leviathan's pretty good. I would assume they're gonna give a new like synchro, maybe like a new couple new main deck monsters. Who knows? Do these guys have a field spell? I actually don't know if these guys have a field spell, but if they don't have one, they'd probably get a decent field spell to keep them up to date with other archetypes that have all gotten their own field spells. So just keep an eye on these and expect buyouts in the next like week or so. Buster Whelp. This thing has been skyrocketing, and I don't really know why. I mentioned these a couple months ago, how I found like 9 of these in bulk. I don't think I have any more of these, sadly, but these are $6 for the first eds before they climb up to like 7s and beyonds. And there's not many sellers here with a lot of copies available, so do keep this in mind if you guys have this. Soul Charge. This is one that is very low on listings for the Dragons of Legend Ultra and also the Dusa Ultra. And then the Dragons Legend Super is falling behind, along with the Common for some reason. However, the more accessible Commons from the structures have plenty more listings available. This is a hat format card. There are a lot of hat format cards that have been spiking in price lately just because of the more recent popularity of the format. So, be on the lookout for that, including Traptrix Rafflesia. But this also has applications with Ryziol, the new rank 4 spam archetype from the new deck building set, Crossover Breakers, because they have a whole trap card, which right here, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card and send 1 whole normal trap card that meets this activation conditions from deck to grave. This effect becomes that trap effect when that card's activated. So, yeah, it's just a way to get the trap hole effect. We don't know if this is still going to be applicable when the cards from Crossover Breakers get ported to the TCG. They could change the name entirely just to avoid this interaction. So do keep that in mind before you go out and buy Rafflesias. Same thing applies to the Quarter Century. The Quarter Century is sitting about $22, which is insanely up from where it used to be. If you guys picked this up for like, $3-4, you guys are up, significantly 5 times. Go ahead and try to get rid of this and trade it for something that you have been eyeing. Castel. Again, hat format. This guy has skyrocketed. The ulti, very low on listings. 10 listings, and your near mints are going to cost you about 50 plus. There's only 2 copies available at the $50 mark before it's quickly $60. So if you guys do need the Castle ultis, recommend trying to get them now before they completely disappear. Cowboy, Cowboy is very up. This dude is $89, essentially 90 plus after tax. So yeah, this one's kind of ridiculous because these were as low as 45 at one point. I do remember eyeing these when they were around that $40 mark and thinking about it, but again, I'm not like a high rarity person. I don't typically do high rarity for my personal cards that I'm going to play. Silent Honor Arc is also in that same category of hat format cards that the high rarities have been bought out for people to play the format. And this has 2 high rarity prints. It has a Ghost, which is from the Water Duelist pack. And this is getting lower on listings. It's about $25 for this if you want a Ghost rare copy. However, you can get an Ultimate rare copy. Now let's clean this up a little bit. Near Mint First is going to cost you $70. Okay. Ghost rare. Ulti. Ghost rare. Ulti. Yeah, I'm fine on the ulti. I'll take a Ghost. Even if we go Unlim. Unlim is, well, completely gone. Hey, $189 unless you want foreign. Yeah, no thanks. I will pass. If you guys want to go down in the description, I recommend following me on the other social media platforms that I have listed in my link tree. If you guys come here, you guys can find links to all of these different social media platforms, and also some links to a couple Discord servers that I admin for my homies Jay and Thomas, along with some of the collabs, wink wink, that we've been a part of. There may be another one here coming up soon, so keep an eye on that. And if you guys use any of the Amazon links in the description, I do get a small kickback from that. They are Amazon affiliate links. So if you guys are looking for like supplies for your shops or anything, please go down there and order using that link. Hell, even if you're not looking for those specific supplies, if you just click the link and then go order whatever else you were going to order on Amazon and then check out, you don't even need to buy the item that was linked. You just need to click the link and then go check out. So if you guys could do that for me and help me earn a little bit extra, I would appreciate it. We have a very special goal that we're trying to achieve. I'm starting to save up for an engagement ring. My girlfriend and I, we've been together for 3.5 years, roughly. And it's time. She's done with school now. She has a full-time job as a teacher, and I think it's just time that we move on to that next step. So that's going to be the goal with the whatnots and all the revenue that I earn through Amazon affiliate or TCG player, you know, stuff like that. It's, yeah. Hopefully by like sometime next year we'll be able to propose. But that's like the big goal. Don't leak. Please don't leak. I'm only saying it here because I know she never watches these videos. Oh, getting into more cards. Masquerade, number 104. This guy. I don't know why these have skyrocketed. I would assume when an opponent's monster effect is activated during the battle phase. That's what I'm assuming. It's like an anti-tempi thing, but it could be like some other legacy format applications. But this thing is significantly expensive. For unlim light plays, you're going to be paying $8 to $9, and first eds you're going to be paying like 10 plus. It's kind of a weird little buyout, honestly. It's a solo print from Judgment of the Light, so it's kind of the same thing that we saw with Gin Buster when Sprite was first kicking off. Gin Buster only had the solo print as a rare from Shadow Specters, and that rare shot up significantly once it started seeing play, so I assume it's something similar here. Cosmic Blazer, this guy's getting a quarter century in less than a week. Why are we still buying this? Granted, it is coming down slightly in price, but still, this is still $16. If you guys still have these, please offload them. They will crash as soon as the quarter century comes out next week. And I've seen that some people are getting tins as early as Friday, September 13th to open on stream, like on Whatnot. So just word of caution, please, please, please sell this before it tanks significantly. Angel Statue as a rune, of course, with the popularity of Silhouette Rabbit and Appaloosa being banned, and Rabbit now being able to fit into a lot more extra decks, this card also fits into a lot more main decks, just because it is a negate. And this is still steadily climbing. These supers used to be bulk. They were under $1 for the longest time, and now they're going to cost you about $4.50 to $5 a piece. Granted, you only need to run one of this. This is a one of, but still $5 for a card that used to be like 40 cents. That's big gains. If you guys have any of these and you aren't playing the Rabbit and have no intentions to, highly recommend getting rid of this. Now, Sprite Blue, I wanted to touch on this because I'm pretty sure with Megatons, they said Power of the Elements is going to be reprinted, or cards from Power of the Elements. I'm pretty sure Sprite Blue is safe from this. Granted, it has 3 prints already. However, we have seen weird little instances before, like with the Adventure Engine. They reprinted it in Battles of Legend. Everything aside from Fateful, Illegal Knight, Griffin, Dracoback. So Right, Water Enchantress, those were the 2 big ones that they reprinted. Then they went ahead and reprinted them again in the Megatons just a few months later. So that still could happen here with Sprite Blue. But I wanted to kind of open your guys' eyes to this if you guys aren't aware. Sprite Blue Ultras from Terminal Revenge, they're like 3-ish a piece. The secrets from Power of the Elements are like $5 more at like the $8 range. But then the ulties again are about $5 more from the secrets. So if you're trying to get secrets, just get the ulti. Granted, you do have to be careful, okay, because this image, this is a Euro print. Euro print will have the swirl. If you get NA print, it's going to be real hit or miss if you have the actual swirl, and that's what people love, is the embossing, the swirl in the background. That's what people look for in OTS ultis. They don't want the flat ones. So don't order these from TCG Player. You are very likely to get a flat-looking ulti. If you guys are at your locals or something and somebody has one in a trade binder and it has the swirl, maybe offer like a few dollars more in trade, just so you guys can secure a prettier looking copy of this. Chicken Game. This is one that I anticipate getting a reprint, likely in an OTS set as an OTS Super. These commons are still sitting $4+, which is kind of wild, especially given that nobody has been playing Chicken Game. I've seen 0 topping deck profiles that have played this card since it got off the ban list and limited to 1. Again, cards that we haven't touched in a while. Summon Breaker. Yeah, whatever happened to Summon Breaker? Yeah, it's still worth a couple bucks, but there are very plentiful listings. And again, nobody's playing this card. So if you guys have these, try to sell them. If you guys are trying to play them, what are you cooking? Nibiru! Speaking of the Meteor, I wanted to go back and touch on the OTS Ulti Nibiru. Now, a lot of people hate this because of the error that happened when they were printing these with the spacing on the attack and defense. This is, like, known. Every single OTS Ulti NA print Nibiru has this, or at least most of them do. So don't be... It's not a fake card. It is, like, genuinely misprinted. These are sitting $70. Isn't that insane? I honestly never expected to see these below 70, even well, below like 80, 90, 100, even after the quarter century reprint. So to see these as low as 70, that's kind of crazy. Brave Eyes Pendulum Dragon, I think we touched on this maybe once or twice in the past, but this again is still very, very, very up. For Light Play First, you're going to be paying like 23, 24. If you guys want Near Mint Unlims, you're going to be paying 25, and Near Mint First, you're going to be paying about 30. I'm assuming Voiceless plays this maybe because Pendulum Dragon Monster as like maybe a super poly target, but again, I haven't seen this have any sort of application in the modern format. So if you guys have this is a likely reprint target, so try to offload it while you can. Summoning Curse. This is another one that shot way up. People were trying to theory on this in the Mimighoul deck. Again, I haven't seen this have any relevant play, but maybe I'm just watching the wrong deck profiles or reading the wrong ones. Summon limit, this is the OTS, common? Yeah, OTS common is sitting like $5 to $7. And then we have the other print, which is Duelist Revolution, D-Rev. The unlims are, Jesus, kind of crazy, $6. And the first eds are going to run you a little bit more than that. Mod play, let's get Near Mint. Near Mint's like 6, yeah, 6, 7. So both prints are about $5 to $7. Summon Breaker, we already touched on that. Power Sink Stone. This has been seeing some more buyouts, specifically because of the skill drain limit. What really shocks me is the new common out of the Fire King structure deck is the one that has the lowest listings. Now, Starstrike Blast, if you guys can find the Near Mint Firsts, like these are $2+ up to 3s and beyond, and Starstrike Blast is one of those that you don't see first ed too often. However, if you want the oh, maybe I misspoke. I'm thinking Stardust Overdrive. That's what it is. I was thinking back to Swap Frogs, and I was like, oh yeah, Starstrike Blast. Correction. I was thinking Stardust Overdrive. Forgive me. But yeah, if you guys have these in bulk, again, Starstrike Blast is one of those sets again that is just interesting. Has a lot of really sick cards from it. Samurai Destroyer, this is one that we haven't touched on in a while, but I have seen people on Whatnot asking for this card more and more as the Trident Dragon reprint approaches. People are trying to get the rest of their extra deck and main deck in order, because once Trident Dragon gets reprinted and it's more accessible to the masses, the rest of the deck will go up. Trident Dragon was the barrier to entry, and once that barrier to entry is demolished, competition for the rest of the cards in the deck goes way up. Your demand goes way up, and thus your price will go way up. So please, if you guys are, guaranteed you're going to be playing Tenpai once the Trident Dragon reprint comes, go ahead and look at some of these other extra deck cards, and even like your main deck Pydras if you don't have them already. And along with the extra deck, you do want to get Moonlight Dragon. This is a one-of in the deck. These have kind of settled down. The supers used to be around 15. The ultras here used to be about 15 to 20. Even the the manga one used to be way up. But that's settled back down to around the 10 to 15. And even these like colored ultra rares, the blues, the purples, the greens, these have settled down quite a bit too. But they are all still pretty low on listings, which means once Trident Dragon gets the reprint, people are going to swarm to get their one-ofs. They're going to swarm to get the cheap trade bait. So do keep an eye on this. And finally, I want to touch on the Bestials because these are receiving a lot more chatter, especially nowadays. So Druis Worm is about $15 for both the original Super from Darkwing Blast and the Secret from last year's Megatons. Lubellion is going to run you about 16 for the OG Secret, 10 to 13 for the reprint, and then Serenir is going to run you $4 to $5 for each copy, and Magnamut's limited, so you can only play one of this anyway, but if this card ever gets unlimited, remember, this Super from Darkwing Blast was a $15 super rare. You open a pack with a Bestial Magnamut Super, you made instantly all of your money back and then some. So do keep that in the back of your mind. So I want to thank you guys for watching the Market Watch. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, leave a like, leave some comments below. Tell me what you guys have been observing in the market as for changes. And subscribe if you guys are new. We're on our way to 500 subs. I think we're pretty close to the 250 mark. We're pretty close to halfway there. And I do want to thank you guys for all the love and support you guys always show. It does mean a lot to me. And I'm looking forward to creating some more content. As I hinted earlier, we may be having a collab coming up soon. So I will, give you guys more details once that is done and ready. As for other news, I'm going to my second locals this weekend. Hopefully, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to bring yet. I might bring Runic Stun just for the just for the pure enjoyment that I'll get, seeing people be like, oh my god, you're playing Runic Stun, like, who knows, we might end up bringing Plunder back. I didn't play Dipsy Fiend, which is the new TCG exclusive from Infinite Forbidden, that is basically a Plunder Patrol card, but without the name. It's a water level 4 Fiend that can special itself to your field or your opponent's, and it gives them an attribute. You just call an attribute and it becomes a different attribute other than water, which is all you need to go into Blackbeard and then use Blackbeard quick effect, target him, bring out Lease, so you call Light. Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I may try to use that in Adventure Plunder, or I might just try Pure Plunder. I saw a couple interesting deck lists with Pure Plunder, mainly running some board breakers and like 15 hand traps. So we may end up trying that, or I might just play Runic Stun just for the hell of it. So we're gonna wrap it up. I hope you guys have a good day, and as always, I appreciate you guys. Stay safe, stay hydrated, go drink some damn water, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.